Yogis, we are going to take a moment to just talk about crow pose. Crow pose is one of the beginner arm balances that they teach a lot in regular vinyasa classes. I personally find this pose to be very challenging, actually, especially the full expression of it, but it is a good way to start to learn just to bring weight onto your hands and to find balance on your hands in general. So I suppose that's a good reason why it's thrown out there a lot. There's a few tricks that we can go over that might help you attain this posture a little bit better. First of all, the hands are incredibly important, right? So your arms are not used to holding all of your body weight. So the bigger you can make your new base, which is not your feet anymore, it's now your hands, the better, because your fingers are now going to be your brakes, okay? So the more you can spread your fingers out, the better. Now there's an action of pushing down the knuckles in the hands, especially the knuckles at the base of the finger and the top of the palm. Your wrist has all these little bones in it and not a ton of muscle. So you don't want all of your weight back into the back of your hands because you're probably going to injure yourself eventually, right? So I really want you to push down into these big knuckles at the base of the fingers. One thing that I love to do is I like to sort of spread my fingers, push my fingertips down, and then try to lift my middle knuckles. It's almost like you're suctioning the floor. Okay, and all of a sudden now my foundation in my hand is super strong and I'm really engaging the bottom of my hand. So stability-wise, this is going to be really important. All right. The second important thing is, of course, your arms are now supporting all of your body weight. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are in line with your wrists. You're not out here, you're not in here, because that's going to be putting weight in the wrong places, which again, over time, it's not going to serve you. So always make sure that you have the correct alignment in the arms. And the core is also going to be incredibly important because of stability reasons, mostly. And then also in crow pose, eventually you want to get really light in the knees that are resting on the back of your arms. Eventually you don't even want to use your arms. You're basically using all this core to hold yourself up. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. We're going to take our hands about shoulders distance apart again. Bring your feet together and your knees wide. Right? You can just take a moment to kind of rest here and to open the hips. And then when you're ready, again, you're just going to plant those hands down, find those suction fingers, and think about bringing the knees up towards the outer sides of the upper arm. If they're all the way down on the elbow, I don't really mind as a beginner because once you've learned to find balance here, you'll be able to refine this pose. This is all really just about finding balance in the beginning. Another really important note is not to look down. If you look down by your feet, chances are you're gonna somersault, which is okay. It's okay. But if you look forward, it's gonna keep lengthening your spine and engaging your back muscles, which is gonna help us balance here. Okay, so spread your fingers, suction those knuckles up. We're gonna lean forward, so resting the knees on those upper arms. Again, press your knuckles down and just stay here for a few breaths. Okay? Engaging your core, squeezing your belly, squeezing those elbows in. And then just give yourself a break. Okay, coming back down, maybe shaking out the hands. You're gonna interlace the fingers and roll out your wrists. And we're going to come back into it once again. This time maybe picking up one foot at a time and seeing if we can get a little bit lighter in the feet and bring more weight into the hands. Okay, so again, lift those hips up, squeeze your core. You've got to bring weight forward into the fingers and out of the palm, and then maybe you can squeeze one foot up. Okay, and just practice holding that. It's a lot of weight in your arms. You can release that leg, maybe pick up the other leg. And then again, just let go slowly. Take a break, shake out your hands, maybe stretch out your wrists. And then we'll go for a third time. So this time, if you're ready to find flight, great. Don't freak out when your feet come off of the floor, right? Even when you get really excited and you're like, yeah, I did it. Stay present, stay mindful, and then celebrate afterwards. We're gonna try to bring even more weight into the fingers this time. So if all of your weight is in the back of your hands, you're never gonna be able to balance. Okay, your weight has to come forward. If you feel like you're going too far forward and you're gonna fall on your face, you push into your hands, your fingers, excuse me, like right where the fingernails are, and you'll actually be surprised as to how strong your hands actually are, and you might be able to bring yourself back up into balance, okay? So again, let's find our stance. Feet are nice and close, knees are wide, knees come to the outer upper arms. We lean forward, maybe pick a foot up, and if you have balance, pick that other foot up. Okay, and just try to take a few breaths here. Lengthen through your neck. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come back down. Okay, eventually we work on sort of pulling those arms up behind the upper arm instead of on the outside. However, I like to teach beginners to take them to the outside because if you put your knee on the back of your arm, it's gonna slide from side to side. It's really hard to find balance that way. So in the beginning, it's okay to bring them outside the arms and just squeeze those knees in for stability, okay? One more trick, if you're really afraid of falling forward onto your face, it's a real fear, of course. It's there to protect you, so listen to that. But if it's really blocking you, what you can do is take a block. We'll actually rest our forehead on this block. Okay, so take your block or your pile of books, whatever you have at home, and just place it a little bit out in front of your hands. Probably like another hand's distance, I would say. And you're gonna lift those hips up once again, and this time before you pick up any of your feet, just rest your forehead on the block. Okay, so now you know that you're not gonna go forward. If you start going forward, you just push your head into the block. And then maybe pick one foot up, then maybe pick another foot up, and then from here, if you wanna challenge yourself, you can get that head up off of the block. Okay? Awesome. So keep giving it a shot at home. Again, this is something that over time, this is gonna get easy. It's not gonna happen overnight. It might always be a huge challenge for you to find balance, and that's the fun of it. It's just enjoying the process and watching your body get stronger and stronger each day and have fun.